Let's look at the big picture, the race for global supremacy, with President Trump in the US on one side and countries like ours in the middle and President Xi on the other. Well, the US economy is still the world's biggest, raking in $28 trillion. You've got China coming in second at $18 trillion and the UK on sixth on less than $4 trillion. And the US remains the biggest spender when it comes to defence. But here is the hitch, because this $300 billion goes a long way in China. It's allowed President Xi to build up 234 warships, creating the world's biggest navy. China has been quite clear it wants to dominate the industrial world, especially in new technologies like AI and quantum computing, along with the clean energy and rare earths they need. And in many of these fields, like green energy and robotics, China is already ahead. And one of the statistics American tech bosses obsess over is how much money is being spent on research and development. And you can see how close China is to catching up. Out of 74 critical technologies where the US used to dominate, China has now taken the lead in 66 of them. In the real world, this shows up in the number of new inventions. Have a look at patent applications, virtually zero, and now suddenly China is on 1.8 million. That is a huge swing. Now, China's edge offers a lot of appeal, but it's a relationship that's brought vulnerabilities as well as opportunities. There have been a wave of Chinese investments in the UK, including one of the country's largest pub chains, a Premier League football club, and one of London's most recognisable skyscrapers. But the real money has been in critical infrastructure, nuclear, water, battery storage and clean energy. But that's also where there's been controversy. The 2020 decision to remove Chinese tech giant Huawei from our 5G mobile network at the behest of Americans revealed the challenge of looking to China for solutions. The man at the helm of Huawei UK at the time is one of Britain's leading industrialists, Sir Michael Rake, who says with calmer minds, security risks could have been managed.
This is one of the few, if not the only, occasions where a company has been willing to hand over its software for verification. So we were completely content with that, as were GCHQ, as were MI5, and it became politicized. The truth is that whilst this was going on, the alternatives were at that time not as good, more expensive, made in China with no security wrapper. It cost billions to the companies. And an independent economic survey showed it probably cost the economy, because of our loss of positioning in 5G, about £20 billion. You have to understand there are security risks in dealing with different countries.